Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasy, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the heart-pounding military fantasy that's part Hunger Games and part How to Train Your Dragon. That's right, grab your flight jacket, we're headed to Biscayeth.
A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A reader without their book or this podcast is dead. Welcome to the revolution. My best advice, don't die, and don't worry, we most likely won't eat our allies.
In this episode, we'll be discussing Onyx Storm chapters 34 through 37, where Xaden, Violet, and company have a nice little family dinner on Hedotis. Thankfully, only half the party gets poisoned.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Empyrean series materials. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance. Like the books, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
All right, last we left off, Quest Squad had just officially said fuck that to their orders and headed on to Hedotis. They landed on the beach, stepped over some dead birds, and were immediately greeted by members of the Triumvirate, one of the 3 elected leaders of the Isle, and his wife, who happens to be Xaden's long-lost mother. Now, we already talked a little bit about this in the last episode, but before we get into some family drama, let's talk about the Isle itself. It's said to be more colorless than even Umbriel. No weapons are mentioned as being seen, although Violet does speculate that they are hidden. And their cities were destroyed and rebuilt to be perfectly spaced, perfectly homogeneous, Stepford Wives neighborhoods. What did y'all think about the island now that we learned a little bit more about it? Just the island itself, not the people.
I mean, the perfectness of it supposedly is always off-putting. Anything like that is quote-unquote perfect or very clean or very exact to me is off-putting. But to be honest with you guys, it did remind me of home because of the squares.
Yeah. Are perfectly...
I don't want to say where home is, but the perfectly aligned squares of it made me think of downtown.
Yeah, although
Thank you.
I was the same thing because to me, wasn't this the one where Andarna was like, let's just leave?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, you listen to Andarna. If she wants to leave, you fucking leave.
Agreed.
As soon as she said
Agreed.
that, it was like, oh, it's evil. And then this was also the Isle of Wisdom and Peace, which means, really what that means is it's the Isle of War and Dumbassery, because only people that are motherfucking stupid have to tell you that they're wise. If you have to tell someone you're something, then you're not that thing, because you're telling them because they blatantly will not be able to see it for themselves in you. So yeah, as soon as they called it that, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's funny because they do have no army. They have apparently, according, I think it's Mira who says they have shitty guards, or was it Violet? And
Probably Mira.
I find it interesting that we do get very few people sighted on this island.
I thought that was weird too. I think it's good to point that out because we have now been to 2 other islands, and right, because we went to Deverelli and we were at Umbriel. But both of those isles, even though they had completely different ways of welcoming our squad, we saw people there. It really puts me off that we're only seeing a handful of people, and that if you think about it, if you came up to this isle and it was just these 3 people and the isle was colorless and everything looked pristine and everything's very neat and tidy, that would make me feel so freaked out.
Yeah.
I would be like, what am I not seeing?
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Yeah, I would be so freaked out.
Well, the intro from Asher for this, because he talked about certain things on the pro side for them, but then he said, their artifice terrifies me. So their trickery, which I thought was really interesting, that they are definitely deceivers.
Yeah.
I think artifice is a perfect way to put it. And I think something that we learn from these sections from the book is that humans who want to interpret like gods always do it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They always do it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they're using the gods as an excuse to do things that are evil and pretend that they're not.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I would say.
Sorry, this is off topic, but I just noticed. I love your earrings, Lily.
When I put them on this morning, I was like, I gotta represent. It's Pride Month, and Brittany made these for me, so I was like, I should wear them. Yeah,
Aww.
While we were at the library, when I was doing all those beaded earrings, I made those for. They turned out to be one of the more prettier ones that I made.
They're gorgeous colors.
Yes.
I mean,
Beautiful.
I am a little biased because it's the bi flag, but they are beautiful. Anyways,
All right.
sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, they do have this mineral on the island that supposedly is in all the food. It's called villagite or something like that. And it changes pale eyes to purple. Now, it's interesting because there is a bunch of theories out there saying that maybe Hedotis is actually an island full of venom, and this blue dye is what makes their eyes purple.
I don't know. I
do
like
think-
the venom better.
Damn. Now that's saying something. I don't know if they're necessarily venom, but they're sinister in a way that the venom are.
Yeah. And they said that their capital city, that they destroyed it. What if it was, there's another theory out there that these are people from a conquering island that took over this island. They also have red eyes, and that's why their eyes are purple with the mineral adding blue.
Uh-huh.
But it makes you wonder, was their capital destroyed because they destroyed it? Or was it conquered?
It's colorless.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
It's even more colorless than Umbriel.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, it's interesting that it's pointed out that it's even more. And then Violet's like, does that mean they have less magic? And they're like, well, how do you have less magic than none?
Yeah. And if you think about it, at the end of this section, when they get to Zelna, or however you say
Zelna.
Zelna, that one has color, or at least some color.
Mm-hmm.
And so in comparison to the Umbriel, later Zelna, and this island, I think it's concerning, maybe. It's at least odd.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a little bit of offense at the poor Venom. Like, let's not denigrate the Venom in a way of saying that they are these people. I don't like these theories.
Damn, you really hate them. I don't blame you. They're pretty awful.
Yeah.
They're pretty awful.
A lot of people, and I am one of these people, think that the fact that they hide their eye color, their true eye color, is very shady.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that they are Venom, but I feel like that the Venom have not sunk to that depth in the continent just yet. So I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. Something could be revealed.
Yeah, I definitely
see
think
that
there's something
happening.
up. Yeah, but I don't know.
And then
I don't know why the mom would stay.
I do want to say that was a theory I found for several users on Reddit, one of which was deleted, so I couldn't get their name. And the other is consistent-floor 1338 and an Instagram user who all put the theory together. And the one that was deleted was really, really in-depth okay, the land is more colorless. The leader has a cane, which we've seen various Venin use a staff. And
Interesting.
the eyes are dyed. The fashion is compared to that of fashion that Violet's seen in history books. We know the Venin are very old. They like to poison. The Venin like to poison.
Yeah.
Now,
and they have a poison available to them at all times.
Yes, they do. Well, sort of. The fruit has to over-ripen or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
True. It's seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am worried if, say, the Venin did take over this island. Why? What's hidden on that island that they're trying to protect?
Weak people?
Information?
That's what I was thinking, is information about their libraries. They're super wonderful libraries that they won't share information.
I was actually disappointed we were in and out of this place because I would think Violet would want to sneak in there or figure out what's going on in the libraries. But I know she was trying to work it out where they could do it without, having to sneak in there.
Well, that, and I think she was a little consumed by our next topic, which is Xaden's family drama.
Yes, true. Which is, oh my God, who could have thought?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have so many questions about Talia. Like, who is she? Why? What's her last name? Why don't they give a last name? If they're so fascinated with contract magic, why? Because they talked about nobles contracting to other nobles. Is she a noble? That she contracted a marriage to the Duke of Tyrandor? Is she contract marriage to Ferris? Because she can't love that bastard.
She doesn't seem to.
No. Like, he does not treat her right. And, well, he doesn't treat anybody right. But they have to be.
Yeah.
It cannot be true love with them, I'm just saying. But I just, is she from Hedotis? I know it's implied that she is when Xaden's like, my mom used to tell me these stories about purple-eyed people. But is she? Because
I had the same thought when I was reading because, based on the implications that we find out at dinner and based on what we know about her, if she was contracted to marry Xaden's father, which it seems that that's the case, then she returned and was contracted, it looks like, for this guy in Hedotis. And
immediately after.
know. Right. I can't say it that I am convinced that she's not from Hedotis, but I'm not sure because I don't know.
I don't think she is.
Yeah. I don't know. There were so many thoughts swirling around in my head that none of it came out, but I am not convinced that she is.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a distinction between she was contracted out for marriage and she was contracted out to have a child, because that seems to be more of what the contract was the child part. So what is it in her DNA that it is valuable enough that the Duke of Tyrandor wanted her DNA in his son? And for Ferris, it could be the same thing, that she's contracted to him for those children and that something in her DNA is adding to them. That's what it felt more like to me.
You notice there's no other children that we see on Hedotis.
It is
maybe they need
it
children.
Is implied that it's about the children, and they do talk about, bringing countries together by having children as a for alliance and whatnot. And I gotta say,
that whole conversation, I cannot wait for us to discuss that because I have some thoughts.
But how do you make an alliance though when you leave? How does that keep the alliance if you're part of that couple leaves? That's not an alliance anymore.
I think it's so because Xaden, if she is Hedotis, Xaden is technically half Hedotis, and he should have alliances with his mother, who is Hedotis.
But he didn't know that, though. He didn't know who his mother was. He didn't know her at all.
Right.
So you would have to keep that connection in order for that to truly be an alliance. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Unless it's like, here's some DNA. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would think that would, if that was the point, was to have an alliance. what did Tyrandor need to be allied with some random island ridiculously far away anyway that has no army and doesn't really care about war and only really wants to kind of hoard their own little information? And what does Hedotis get out of it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we do finally learn that Xaden does have actual brothers, no secret brothers. But we have Simeon and Gaius, which, those are some names?
Roman names
is
a little odd.
Yeah, I was like...
Well, I don't know if Simeon is. I mean, Simeon is quite biblical sounding. But Gaius is like literally... like Gaius Caesar? My guy? What?
But that's so funny, too, that they would literally name them after an empire that had to steal all their shit, that had not one fucking original thought among them, that they had to steal all their shit from other cultures. And that seems to represent. So I guess it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, do we know that it's from other cultures? I don't know. To me, it implies that they think that they have a right to name their children after what sounds like a historical character. Like they're pulling history out because they're so wise and knowledgeable about the past. And that's what it gave to me. It gave like privileged and, like privileged and proud of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They think they're better than us is what the name Gaius means to me.
In their togas.
Yeah, exactly. And they look like they're wearing togas, kind of.
I feel like these type of people that are deeply insecure, like they know how fucking dumb they are, and they're so desperate for other people not to think that, so they go overboard trying to convince you that they're wise. Because it's like deep down they know. They know they're wearing the dunce cap.
They are a piece of work.
They are.
Blatantly, I hate these people. I was like, damn it, Brittany.
Oh. Well, we kind of hit on this earlier, but when I was writing the thing about Talia in our notes, I was like, bitch is an actress. She meets them on the beach and she's like all shy and shocked and surprised that, oh, Xaden, is that really you?
Xaden? Yeah, the second that we found out that she knew he was coming, I was like, this bitch is a liar. This bitch is a liar and an actress, and she is despicable. There's something that she knows.
Yes.
That she's hiding.
When she goes up to the room and Violet has to block her entrance, and she's like trying very hard to get Violet's
red flags,
pity and whatnot. Like, here's my sad story, and don't you feel sorry for me?
Yep.
And then she's like,
big red flags.
Oh, I could give you something if you just let me in.
That pissed me off to the nth degree because it's not about Xaden. It felt transactional. And I was like, this is a problem immediately. Now, Violet is a badass in this whole section because not only does she say, you can go fuck yourself, but she says, I'm not going to let you ruin his time here or what we came to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she immediately steps in. Again, I am so impressed by Violet in this book up to this point because she is just taking charge like crazy.
Yep.
I was amazed. But I am a little concerned because up to this section, things have been going pretty well. And that means that at some point shit is going to hit the fan. And I'm very concerned about that. I mean, in this one, some bad shit happens, but I still feel like shit has not hit the fan.
Well, for me, about the Talia transactional conversation, for me, I was so not necessarily frustrated, but angry because she offered that shit without, they were already coming. So
yeah,
I'll make sure that you get a conversation with them tonight at dinner was already done. It was already a done deal. So she's literally offering something that was already going to happen.
She had already relied on that. So she was fucking not only bluffing, but just
conning.
Trying to take advantage of Violet.
She was conning.
Well, she was delivering. She was literally there to deliver her biological son to Ferris. I mean,
I think I do think, to be fair, on some level, I think selfishly, she did want to see and speak to Xaden because she is his mother.
Oh, I think she is
but I don't
so
think,
selfish.
Well, right, but I was about to say, but I don't think it's for
him.
Any reason except for the fact that she thinks she should be able to because she quote unquote loves him so much. Like her love for Xaden is based on how she feels, not based on Xaden.
Right.
So, but I do think some of it is that she wants to interact with him because she feels like she should play a part in his life. But it's for selfish reasons. It's not because she loves him and she wants to care for him. It's because she wants to feel better about herself.
Oh, yeah. Right. She doesn't want to be judged for what she did. She's one of those people that she wants to do what she wants to do. And then you're not supposed to judge them. And there's no consequences or owning up to anything, that it just should be, okay, well, that's water under the bridge. Yeah, I mean, you can see why I did it, right? Okay. It's so frustrating. I would much rather, I liked Ferris more than I liked her.
Because he's more straightforward in a lot of ways.
Kind of, yes.
I think she wants forgiveness for what she did from Xaden, but she wants it pried out of him in a way. She wants to feel better about herself.
I think she wants not necessarily forgiveness, because I don't think she thinks she did anything wrong. She was like, I had to leave. The contract was up and I couldn't take you. And he was like, you could have stayed. And I think it was more, he's mad and she understands that. And maybe it is forgiveness in a way, but I don't think she sees it as forgiveness. I think it's more like, you should just understand where I was at. I would have been executed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that she thinks that she was in the right and she has to make Xaden see that.
I wonder how much she thinks he knows. And I also wonder if Finn Ryerson asked her to stay. I wonder if he truly loved her and asked her to stay beyond the contract. And she said no.
That's
because remember,
I don't know, based on that one quote.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that could have come after that. If she said no to him, he could have been like, love sucks, don't love anybody. That could have been his reaction to her rejecting him.
That's true. I could see that. It coming from a hurt place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is some thought along with that theory I was talking about with them all being Venin, that Finn kicked her out after he found out that she supported Venin or was a Venin, which I don't think she's a Venin, but enabled Venin.
Sure. I'm glad that we're on the same page here. She is I forgot the word that I was going to say. It's too early in the morning.
Bitch.
She is, yeah. It was a little more complex of a term, but she is a insidious character. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
She's quite insidious.
Mm-hmm. A little narcissistic. I think she does embody the traits of a narcissist.
Hell yeah.
Because I swear to God, she knew that war was coming. Finn got executed. And the only reason that Xaden and the other 107 marked ones didn't die is because Xaden made that deal.
Right.
So she literally left her kid to die.
When she said, I had to save myself, I had to leave, or I would have died, the anger that I felt so deep in my heart, as someone with mommy issues, I wanted to beat this bitch up. I wanted to tear her apart. This whole section has made me feel so deeply for Xaden.
Mm-hmm.
And watching him have to interact with her or even tell her no and her not listening to him is so frustrating.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating.
But, I mean, thankfully, Xaden kind of sort of has a different kind of mother. And when he is having this revelation, I guess, I don't know if it's really a revelation, but he was like, there are other reasons why people who are Venin, who give into it. And it's because we don't have to feel all these messy feelings anymore. And Sikael steps in and is like, I can't talk to you, but I'm going to glare you into doing the right thing.
Yes, so glad that she was like, what are you talking about? I really hope they start talking again.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Sigale in the Xaden points of view. She's great.
Yeah, I miss her voice.
And
Me too. I miss her as a character.
I will say one of my favorite moments in Xaden and Violet's relationship is when he's talking about skating on the ice and, giving up these feelings. Violet says, "Don't barter it away. The pain, the mess, give it to me. I'll hold it. I know that sounds ludicrous, but I'll find a way. I will hold everything you don't want to feel because I love every part of you." And he responds, "You already hold my soul, and now you want my pain? Getting greedy, Violence." For me, that connected so well because, like Xaden, I also have problems sharing my struggles. And I don't mean just talking about them. I mean, when I graduated from college, I didn't have a job for a couple of years. And, my friend offered to buy me lunch. And I was like, no, I'm good. And apparently later on, he told me I hurt his feelings because he thought it was just him who I wouldn't allow to buy me lunch. And then he saw another friend had offered to buy me lunch later when we were hanging out. And I said no to him too. And he was like, "You just won't accept help, will you?" And I was like, no. And so that's something I'm learning to, I'm not good at asking for help. And I don't think Xaden is either.
I think he wants to pretend that he doesn't need help.
Yeah.
Well, for so long, he hasn't been able to.
I think Xaden likes to pretend he doesn't need help, but yeah, he can't do all of this alone.
But I think up until now, it's been all on him. He's had some that he could kind of lean
a lot
on,
of it.
some, but I think he still was responsible for most things.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about dinner. So this dinner includes 10 people, 6 members of Quest Squad for our 6 watch, the Triumvirate, and Talia. So it's Xaden, Violet, Garrick, Arik, Kat, Mira, Ferris, Roslyn, and Nairi. Ferris, Roslyn, and Nairi are our Triumvirate people that Quest Squad has to impress. And honestly, they're supposed to prove their wisdom, but it seems more about curiosity. They have to be intriguing more than anything.
I think they want them to be like them. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. No, don't apologize. I agree with you for sure. They think that they're the wisest, and so if you're not making decisions like them, then obviously they're the wrong ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They do ask a couple of questions of the group. One of them being, "What do you think about our city?" And I love Mira's response of, "Wouldn't know. We haven't been there." Like,
true. It's true though. I love her.
Yeah. I think
I love how honest she is.
Yes. I think it's funny that when Violet answers this question, she points out, she's like, "I think it's weird that you don't have a port."
Yeah, because it is fucking weird. You're surrounded by water and you don't have boats? That's fucking stupid if you ask me.
Yeah. And
that is anti-wisdom. Okay, so you don't want to have a port, but you should at least have a way to operate in the water.
Ferris was like, "It is unwise to venture over water when you know next to nothing about what lurks within its depths."
What?
Which, by the way, there was a kraken mentioned at some point, I think.
What?
Oh
I
my
have
God,
to go
I
back
hope
and
it
look.
releases from there.
That's the stupidest thing I thought he said was about the boats.
I know.
Or the port.
You can literally sit there and say, "Well, it is unwise for me to walk down the road because an airplane might fall on top of my head."
Yeah, it's like, it would be wise to plan for uncertainty.
Yeah.
Or how about that, you dumbass?
Yeah.
I
mean,
I don't know how they didn't just stand up and say, "You're just too stupid to talk to." We cannot sink to your level on stupidity. Therefore, there is no communication. We do not understand that dumb of a fucking language.
To some degree, Arik did kind of say something.
Oh,
like
he
that.
did. Yes. That was fantastic. And
Arik is great in this scene.
I got
I
really
love
pissed
him.
when they asked about the griffin with that they choose
yeah.
to, and he said, "Do you respect your griffin for this choice?" Oh, I was so mad. I was like, yes, they have every respect for me. Unlike you construction site toilet turd.
Construction site toilet turd.
I thought it was hilarious that they were aquaphobic, which their aquaphobic question mark I lost it when I read that. And then I thought it was also fucking hilarious that they think that they have any room to talk about something they know nothing about, like the griffins, like the dragons. It's just so funny how ironic it all is. The other thing is that I pointed this out to you guys in our text messages, but as Brittany had insinuated in the last episode, she was like, pay attention to Arik. And I was like, oh, so Arik has super hearing, because if you read it in this chapter specifically, he hears everything that he's not supposed to hear. When Violet's chanting, don't be ahead, don't be ahead, don't be ahead, she's like supposed to be saying it quietly to herself, and Arik hears her. I was just like, okay, that's definitely his signet.
So do you think that he might have heard about the poison plan then?
I don't know. He didn't say anything, though, if he did, if that would be a mark against him. So I would hope not.
I don't think so.
Because that was Violet that figured it out.
I mean, to be fair,
think so.
We're not supposed to have any magic on this island, though.
True, but he did hear her. That's interesting.
Maybe he just didn't use headphones as a kid.
Maybe he just has really good hearing. True, how could he use his signet?
But maybe like Violet, Arik is hiding something. Maybe he can use his signet more.
Maybe. I don't know. I also took my evidence from other parts of the book, so.
There is this theory that Mulvik is one of the dragons who lied about their name and is actually one of the first 6 dragons.
Huh. Mulvik is blue.
Yes.
So that would be interesting.
Especially since he looks very old and battle-worn. He's got like a scar across his snout.
That's cool.
But, okay, so I thought it was interesting that he did ask, hey, do you die, or do your dragons die if you die? Which, I'm sorry, is a red flag question.
It definitely is.
Why do you want to know that? And if
no, but surrounding people do.
If we kill you, will your dragons die too? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah. And I would not have answered that on my best day.
Yeah.
And then Kat goes ahead and tells the truth. Like, yeah, well, the dragons don't, but the griffins do. You can go ahead and kill us. I thought that was a little bit of a misstep on her part to release that information, especially to these people. But the fact that he goes ahead with the poisoning, despite the fact that he knows the dragons will still survive and probably roast his ass.
He's fucking stupid.
And not to mention also, he points out there are there's so many young royals around. We have the royal from Pormeal. We have the royal from Navarre. We have the Duke of Tyrrendor. And he still tries to poison them. Like the king who has been searching for his son, who now finally knows where his son is, isn't gonna come after him for killing him.
Is it wise to poison the children of your enemies?
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. They don't have wisdom. I think they just have ego.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
This was the stupidest plan ever.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beyond me that they insinuated that Xaden and Kat should marry for an alliance as they are witnessing the fallout of the alliance that Talia made with Finn Ryerson, as they are literally watching the consequences of it unfold in front of them.
Yeah.
And they're insisting that they do it again.
Yeah. And
it was so ironic.
And Garrick pointing it out to them how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
If bloodlines equated allegiance, we wouldn't be sitting here under interrogation. He is your son, right?
and yet it doesn't seem to make a difference to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It also kind of, calls into question, is she?
Is he?
Is she his mother?
Although she has eyes like his.
Yes, yeah. And
there seems to be some resemblance.
Violet does say they share certain facial structures.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like, though, she's not his mother. She's his DNA donor. Like, she
absolutely
has not earned the title of mother.
Yeah.
I also felt like, not to change the subject slightly, but I also felt like Arik being so unfazed during this whole dinner was like, he's witnessed dinners like this in his family. He's probably sat through the craziest fucking dinners without wanting to,
Yeah, well, both him and Mira. So for Mira, when she said, which I fucking loved, that we proved our lack of wisdom by coming here in the first place. And Arik, honestly,
Yep.
I find you lacking, and I'm not sure I want you for an ally. I
love
love
Arik to
yes.
death.
Mm-hmm.
Love them.
Although,
Favorite characters.
when they did ask Arik about whether or not he was going to have, like, what kind of heirs he was going to have, what kind of allegiances he was going to have, his was, I'm just the spare. Halden will be king, although a terrible one. I will most likely die in this war and know that I do so protecting others. And I was just like, don't say that, Arik.
Don't make it come true, buddy. We don't want to hear that.
I don't get these people's approach to any of this, because you're literally making enemies. It's not even saying no to potential, ally situation. You're literally making enemies so that somebody much stronger than you is going to come and roast your ass at some point, once they've got a little bit of time.
They think they're untouchable for some reason.
Yeah. And
I don't know why.
Mm-mm.
When
I
they're
don't-
afraid of fucking water. They're afraid of fucking water.
Oh, they can just run around hitting them with squirt guns.
Just throw them in the water.
they probably don't know how
See
to
what
swim.
happens. That's
Get
what
it.
I was saying. Like, I was like, do they know how to swim? It would be unwise.
Actually, you know
Okay.
what? I think the perfect thing for them would be to put little floaties on them and put them out in the middle of the ocean. And that way they have to worry about what's coming up from underneath.
Just,
Yeah.
cut a little slice on them, make them bleed. Hope they're not
Yeah.
sharks in the water, but pray that there are.
Krakens,
Krakens.
other mystical creatures.
Or give them
Pirates.
knives so they can cut each other.
Like, here's your test of wisdom. I'm going to dump you out here, and whoever is able to swim miles to shore is the winner. Yay!
Yes, it would have been wise to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're just so stupid.
First of all, so
They
a
are.
little bit, and I hate to say this because I love the Vulcan, but I think that they are supposed to be similar to the Vulcan.
The Vulcan?
On Star
Brittany. No, Brittany. No.
But
No.
The Vulcan-
I rebuke this.
No.
I rebuke
No.
this.
The Vulcan
No.
are so much better. I'm just
Nope.
saying. I think that they're supposed to be these logic only.
They're not
Unfeeling,
logic.
logical
Unfeeling.
beings.
Vulcans
Yeah.
are logic. These people, zero logic. Zero.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think that they were supposed to kind of be like the Vulcan of, this world, but they fail. And if you watch Star Trek, then you know that, the Vulcan are very emotional and
Yes.
Mhm.
they just try to hide it.
Yeah.
These people, I'm not sure that they have emotions.
I
other
don't,
than
yeah, they
greed.
have no, they're like
No.
psychopaths. It is like an
Sociopaths,
island
yeah.
of psychopaths.
Agreed.
Yes, that's, fuck. What if this is the island where they put all the psychopaths? Like,
They were like, just put them over there.
yeah, I think that's what happened. God, and there's little
I will
psychopath
say-
kids. Jesus.
I felt semi-sorry for Nari and Rosalind because
No.
I don't think that they were part of the poisoning. I don't because
Yeah, they clearly weren't.
they
I
wanted
don't
to eat that
care.
chocolate cake.
yeah.
They were they know Ferris, they know what he's capable of, and they allow him to stay there. They are just as culpable.
What about the
I did
artifice?
not feel one bit
Maybe
sorry.
they didn't know him.
They have to. They have been with him for how long now? They know exactly how he is. They are just as culpable. They have seen what he's capable of. Zero sympathy for those bitches.
I do think that they weren't involved, but I don't feel bad for them.
I only feel slightly bad for them. Just slightly, especially since they got poisoned along with Ferris, and it was up to Ferris whether or not they got the antidote. If I were Nari and Roslyn, after Quest Squad left, I would kill him. Or I would make it known that he got beat and isn't reelected or whatever. Because fuck you. If you're gonna control my life because you fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, they benefited from his evilness all along, and they certainly went along with it to the detriment of others all along. And they were sitting right there when he was asking those horrendous questions and were perfectly fine with it too.
What? But we don't know that they are. We're making assumptions.
No, we're not making assumptions. Ferris is in power. They are sitting right there next to him, allowing him to be in power. So they are culpable.
The people elect him.
You know, I see your point. However, I stand my ground.
And again,
I'm confused because your ground was my ground.
She agrees with you. And
I was agreeing with
you, okay.
Chrissy.
Okay.
And again, I only feel a smidgen bit bad for them.
Yeah. I mean, they did have to deal with some shitty poisoning. And also, can I say, it was blue.
It was blue.
It was blue.
Yes. Okay.
It was blue.
When you were talking about that in the last episode about the Eris birds, I really wanted to be like, okay, they landed on a beach and there's a dead bird. Come on.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
And I was like, as soon as it comes up, you're going to be like, oh, I got it. I knew it. And you did.
Hell yeah.
They do.
But back to the poisoning.
Well, first of all, speaking of that, I texted you all after the episode last week, and I was like, okay, so there was something that Lily, you almost got, and there was something that Christy, you were on the right trail about, and that was the Amaralis. And we finally get confirmation here that the continent has a real name. It is no longer the king with no name. It's the continent is Amaralis or Amakilis. I don't remember.
I think that was close to what Onyx said.
But so the continent is Amari's country, I guess.
Right.
It's more than one country, but land mass.
She's the mother of the gods, right?
The queen of the gods, yeah.
Queen of the gods, okay.
And
that's a little different.
So now all we have left to discover is an island or landmass for Malik.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's under the water.
Oh no. Well, it makes me wonder, is the Barrens for Malik?
Or would that be part of the continent?
Part of the continent.
The Barrens is technically part of the continent, but there is the Bay of Malik, which is right there.
Oh, right.
Underwater, like I said.
Oh my god. If it was an Atlantis situation, I would die. That'd be so cool.
Maybe that's where the Kraken comes from.
No, it has got to come from Hedo World. Because I want that Kraken to come up underneath there and eat the shit out of them.
Hedo World. Also, can we just take a moment and say how fucking rude it is that she keeps faking us out with Riddick's death?
Oh.
And Yaros somewhere was laughing her head off at me panicking about that.
I was not that worried about him. I feel like he will. Now watch, he's going to die in the next chapter because I'm he's going to make it till the end.
No.
I'm going the opposite that I did with Caleb and Zodiac. I'm just going to say he's going to make it to the end.
So
I'm very concerned, but I think he still has a lot to do. So I was like,
But fucking Garrick, stop eating the fucking cake, you...
Garrick! I know, I was like, oh my god, why did you scarf that shit out?
Real quick about Riddick. I was reading this and I just had this thought. in Fourth Wing, she has that moment where she almost kills Liam and then saves him. And we're like, oh, thank God, thank God.
Brittany,
oh my God.
And then
it.
she kills him at the end. And I was
wait. Brittany's read Onyx Storm. I feel like she's now warning us. Are you warning us?
I don't think it happens in this book if he dies. I don't think so.
Brittany?
No.
There's not that much left.
I will go ahead and tell you he does survive the book.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well,
but that
does make me feel happy.
I will also tell you that Rebecca Yarros said that somebody we love will die in book 4.
No.
And I'm
Who do I love
terrified
is expendable.
because this is the second time that she's almost like we've had this death scare about Riddick.
Yeah.
And so I feel like she's trying to be like, oh, Riddick almost died. And we're like, every time. And then it'll get to a point where we're like, okay, so Riddick was shot in the head. He's going to survive. And then
he's fine. And then he won't survive.
And then he doesn't. And it's even more devastating.
I can't take any more. I hope it's not a writer or a flyer because I cannot take any more of the dragons or griffins dying. I mean, it's sad enough for the people, but the dragons
sad.
And the griffins really just fucking kill me. Ugh.
Yeah.
Please no. Who else do we love that doesn't have that?
You might want to brace yourself for the end of the book if you don't want dragons dying.
If they die first, I hate it when they die because of the writers. Like that's, oh God.
Wait, but if a dragon dies, then a person dies.
Oh, I get that, but that's okay. They understand they're dying. I don't know.
No, but Brittany just said that someone's going to die. Brittany just insinuated someone will die.
Right.
Or
the dragon. That'll kill the person.
Jack killed his dragon.
Oh, I was about to say someone sacrifices their dragon.
Oh, do not. I'm going to have to beat some. Nope.
Oh my God. Christy's face was like, and that's it for me.
And I'm out.
I will say nobody.
Oh my God.
Nobody purposefully kills their dragon.
Motherfucker. What?
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, not Sigale because he's Venom.
I swear to God, if that happened, I would.
If Sigale dies, so does Tarn. So no.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Sigale, but I would lose my mind.
Oh, there's nobody I am willing to. Oh, don't tell me it's going to be Atral.
Guys, we got to move on.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry to cut you. I don't want that to happen either, but oh my God, we could theorize forever.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to die either.
I'm just saying prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Yeah, that was needed.
It's
like when somebody warns you that the dog dies, you know? Yeah.
I don't think that you'll be super upset.
I was upset when Bade died.
But you'll be upset in the way where Bade died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay.
Well, so I will say I think it's horrible that Ferris tries to poison everybody. I think it's dumb. I also think it's a massive waste of chocolate.
Yeah, they had to fucking stockpile all that chocolate.
Which is rare.
And it went to waste. And that's the real tragedy here.
Well, no. The real tragedy was that Violet didn't murder the cook whenever he almost killed Riddick.
Oh my God.
Agreed.
She has got to knock that shit off and just fucking poke him. My God, come on.
Riddick's line where he was like, this is supposed to be the civilized Isle, and you're supposed to be wise. Who thought a cook would fare okay against 2 killers?
Agreed.
Again, another unwise move.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I also love that he's like, I want a patch that says Quest Squad. He's like, I deserve a patch. Yeah. And I was like, you do deserve a patch, buddy.
All right. So when the cake comes out with 4 forks missing and they start talking about stockpiling the chocolate and whatnot, Violet is like, oh, I missed something. There's something going on here. And she kind of tells Xaden indicates to Xaden that he shouldn't eat the cake and snatches Arc's fork. But
yes,
Garrick is already a third way done with his.
Fucking he was like snarfy Smurf, man.
He was
like chocolate.
that cake. I will say watching Xaden get concerned about Garrick was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, that is like his, like he said, his brother.
I thought it was interesting too, the way it happened, because he was like eating and then he goes, oh, and just kind of like, that's the way I picture it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
and of course,
There
Arik catches him before he hits his head, and he's like, he's not breathing. He's not breathing. And Talia, when she realizes what has happened, she says, you poisoned my son, which has got the fandom in a tizzy, because she didn't say, you tried to poison my son. She said, you poisoned my son. So everybody's like, you know, they're on Xaden's secret brother watch. They were like, is Garrick her son?
I don't personally think that's the case.
I don't either.
I think that she went into panic mode and was like, he was going to eat that. So I don't think that Garrick is her son, but it did shock me that she didn't know about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because after she revealed stockpiling all that chocolate, I was like, oh, she's in on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she is somehow.
I don't know. I think that she wasn't aware of it.
Even if it's through utter stupidity, I think she's...
She's complicit.
Again, she knows Ferris. She knows what he's capable of. And then it just... There's been too much planning. They knew that they were coming for too long.
I know, but I feel like Ferris is one of those manipulative, dominating, in a sense, and I know she is a great actress, so it could just be that, but
yeah,
I got the feeling that he was very, like, I could see him in a domestic abuse situation, domestic violence.
He's not good to her. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like he controls her or something. That was the vibe I got.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
But for me, my thoughts on that theory is if Talia is Garrick's mom, she is not Xaden's mom then, because they are both third years, meaning they are the same age. And while that is possible,
fraternal twins,
they could be
unlikely.
Except for Garrick is pale skinned.
Yeah.
And Xaden is not. And we don't know whether or not Talia is pale skinned, but we know Finn Ryerson was dark skinned as well. So
yeah,
the likelihood of Garrick being his brother is not high. And
I wouldn't want that anyways, because didn't you say they said there would be like a sibling betrayal?
Yep. Rebecca Yarros did say that there would be some kind of sibling betrayal.
Okay.
But that isn't necessarily, to be fair, the sibling betrayal thing does not mean it's a life-changing sibling betrayal. A betrayal could mean a lot of things. It could mean a lie. It could mean, trickery. It doesn't mean that person will die or that person is evil. Or, I was thinking about that because I was like, okay, a betrayal could be that there's levels to, because Brennan, I consider what Brennan did a betrayal.
Yeah.
But he has been accepted back into the fold. And I think that just because she said there will be another betrayal doesn't mean that someone, that someone is evil.
True.
Or that, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
That she likes to mess with us and I don't want to take her at her word.
You're not going to fall for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to fall for it this time.
Okay. That's true. That's true. And I hope that's the case.
I'm going to have my hope blinders on, my rosy colored glasses.
Well, we talked about Garrick being poisoned now. Let's talk about the triumvirate being poisoned.
Beautiful.
Oh, the best part of the section.
Ignorance. I love it.
Which I have to say, to go back a little bit, if before they had started the dinner, Violet ropes in Mira on the plan, and at the same time, she ropes in Andarna, which I thought Andarna's part in this was my favorite because Andarna was like, oh, we're scheming? And I was like, yes. I love this. And then when we find out her part in this, that she has used her Irid powers to sneak up on this house, I was like, oh, I love how she is making use of her in the best way.
Yeah.
I just love their relationship,
And Taryn is such a proud
she
papa.
went from protecting her. Yeah. Go ahead, Brittany. Go ahead.
I missed. You guys both talk at the same time, and my brain hurt. What?
I said Tyrion is such a proud papa.
Yeah, it's cute. It's very cute. And I am Andarna's cheerleader.
I like the fact that she's using her now, because before she kind of was kept from the fight. She was kept from all the missions, and now she's actually an active part of it.
Yeah, and I think she's having fun with it. And Darna the Sneak is so fun.
Yeah. And, and Darna does want to be included.
Yeah. She's like begging constantly to be a part of everything, which I think is typical because she is still a child.
Yeah.
But she wants to be a part of it. And, Violet's like by doing this, she's making her a part of it, but not putting her in harm's way.
I was hoping she would eat the children.
Yeah.
But I did love Violet's epic takedown of Ferris of ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Ask me how I did this. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
I love that's the part that I was like, yes, I'm so proud of you.
It was, it was reminding me a lot of Princess Bride when he pulls out the fucking cups and he's like, which one is the poison?
Yep.
You know what I mean? You'll never know which
absolutely.
is the poison.
They also have a moment where the guy's like, ha ha ha, you died, ha ha ha.
Yeah, and then he dies. Yeah. Yeah, so it reminded me a lot of that. Also, I think that when he says he has this revelation and he's like, you're Asher Daxton's child.
Yep.
And I was like, what did he do to you?
Yep.
What did Asher do? I want to know.
It's interesting because Ferris can't be that old. So was he in charge when Asher was in his youth coming here when he was still Daxton? And
I don't know.
If they're Venom.
So was Ferris a part of the Triumvirate back then? Or was he maybe like some apprentice to the Triumvirate? I want to know their story. How did he meet Asher? And what did Asher do to you? I should have known. It's the eyes.
Yeah, I want to know as well. Part of me wonders, because of Asher's mentioning of the berries in the quote that we see, is he the one that discovers that poison and then it's reused later? I don't know.
I think the birds kind of
gave that
away because they eat it and then immediately die.
Maybe he found the antidote.
Maybe. I don't know. It just occurred to me because he's supposed to be a poison master.
Yeah.
So
maybe he did find the antidote, which thank God, because Garrick survives. And let's talk about the Aaron mint.
Yeah.
I love that she uses Talia to manipulate Ferris. I love that they all take the antidote before they go down to dinner. And so they have this awkward moment at the beginning where he's like, thanks! And he's holding it up and he's waiting for them to drink. And finally Xaden's like, she's welcome. And then he drinks. And Ferris thought he was so smart because I watched you drink it too. Yeah, I took the antidote before we came down, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice try, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that I thought it was quite poetic that they use Aaron mint to do it, because if Talia had known anything about the place that she married into or about the people that she was supposed to be a part of for however long she was with Xaden, then she would have recognized that Aaron mint and would have realized that it was going to poison them.
Yeah. I mean,
but she didn't.
It's known to be illegal to export.
Right.
And
yet,
she,
which is so funny because it's like, this is the Isle of Wisdom.
Yeah.
And she misses everything about that. The fact that she was with Xaden and Finn for 10 years, and yet when Violet brings you the Aaron mint and uses it in a way that is supposed to be poisonous, you don't recognize it. That is fucking funny. And you deserved that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing with the people like this is that that is always the case. If you think you fucking know everything, then you don't know anything. Because if you think you know everything, it means you've got nothing to learn. And I think that is just a complete picture of this Isle, is that they they're idiots. They're complete and utter useless morons.
Well, I think but for me, the point is that it drives home this evidence that she didn't give a fuck about them. She did not care about Xaden. She didn't care about Arisha. She didn't care about any of it. She didn't try to learn their culture. She didn't try to learn anything about them.
She left them to die.
Yeah. I mean, if she had, she would have recognized this right off the bat.
Not to mention the fact that Xaden drinks Aaron mint tea as a kid in bedtime or whatever. And his favorite food is chocolate cake. She didn't take the time to learn how to make it for him.
Right? She had to have someone else do it, and they had to practice it over and over.
And I gotta say, I know that could be a little like, how dare his mother not know how to make his favorite food? But in this world, did she have a job to do other than be his mother? That,
but there was nothing she did for him that was motherly.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
And that's the point.
And when you have to make it to where literally Lilith is the epitome of a good mother up against this lady is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, Lilith died to protect her kids.
I mean, yeah.
And this lady chose herself over protecting her kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point.
It is.
That Lilith is the counterpoint here.
Yeah.
That even though Lilith was difficult at times and sometimes didn't seem like she was doing what was best for her family, she always was. Yeah. And she was always there.
And, I mean, she did very bad shit, but she did it in the name of protecting her family.
Yeah.
Right.
But I am worried that in the future, since this island basically has been cut off for Violet and everybody, that we are going to have to eventually come back here. I worry.
Sneak back in.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think they'll come back, but I mean, my God, they seem like they would be the easiest Isle to fucking kill.
Hey, maybe Talia fed that poison cake to Ferris after they left.
Well, like y'all said, just flood the island.
Yeah, just flood it.
Yeah.
There you go.
They can't swim. They don't have boats.
They have...
Figure it out.
I wonder if they have water wielders, if they could send a hurricane that way.
Yes.
How would they have water wielders without dragons or griffins?
No, I'm saying the continent. I'm wondering if a water wielder could send a hurricane that way.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
There you go.
The last thing I wanted to bring up that is not related to Hedotis, but related to the story is that it's very convenient that there's been no magic up to this point. And I mentioned this to you guys over text, but I wanted to bring it up on the podcast that I have mentioned in past episodes that I felt like Yaros did not understand Xaden's second signet that well. And I think it's because it's not straightforward, and I think that she has trouble writing it. And so for me, the fact that she found a way around it in this book, which was to get rid of the magic, is both brilliant because she doesn't have to worry about writing it. But then at the same time, it's kind of like sad because I feel like she doesn't really understand it that well. And that's why it's sometimes hard for people like me or other people to understand how his signet works. But she kind of took it out of the running for this book because we are going to places without magic, which again is smart, but also like, I don't know how I feel about it.
It could be that she's having trouble writing it, but it also could be Violet is having trouble understanding it because this is from her point of view, and in this world, we don't know much about it. And she's confused, and Xaden's confused. But yeah.
I know that we've talked about that before, but I genuinely think it is an author issue. But I mean, writing's hard.
It is.
I'm not trying to like dog on Yaros in this sense, but I mean, I think it is one weak point about his character. The other thing is, what the fuck is Violet's second signet? Because we're over halfway through the book and we still have not gotten a reveal on that. And it's funny to me that she was like, you guys should already know. But then like we're halfway through this one and we still haven't seen it. So I'm like, well, because of no magic. But I'm just like, damn, like what is the signet?
I mean, on the Isle of Umbriel, Violet did still potentially have her lightning.
That's true. But I don't know. I'm questioning that.
So she displayed some of the second signet. I'm trying to think because I know what it is, and I'm trying to think on. She didn't. Okay. I thought maybe I missed something.
No, the whole time she thinks that she has no magic, and we only get the lightning strike when she's about to die. Or not really about to die, but she's in this battle, this challenge, and she gets all emotional and whatnot. So I think if she is going to display magic on these no magic islands, it has to be a very highly emotional time, because her signets are emotion based, really.
So it's confirmed that her lightning strike on Umbriel was her?
Nope.
I think it was the god. I think it was the goddess of I think it was Dune.
Could have been.
I don't know. I don't really have an answer. I just, for some reason, I think it's that.
All right. Well, speaking of magic, we are off of Hedotis, and then we visit Zelna. I was like, you're the one that told me the pronunciation. I don't know why it came out different. Zelna. And
it's too early.
It is.
It's 1 p.m.
It's like lunchtime. It's like 1 o'clock.
It's like midnight for me.
Oh my God.
But their reception there is a lot different than the reception that they received at the other isles. The people are there cheering. They're not afraid of the dragons. They're like welcoming, and now they're like the island itself is mountainous. It is almost as vivid as the continent in color, and they realize they have magic. The isle has magic. Any thoughts on why this might be?
I don't have thoughts on the magic, but I do actually. But my first thought about this was just in the same way that it's really off-putting that Hedotis had no color. It is really off-putting that as they're flying up, they're being greeted by like smiles and waves. Like, do you know how much that would freak me out?
Oh yeah.
I'd be like,
stop waving, you assholes.
I just think it's weird. I just thought it would be weird.
And Darna loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Darna's like, oh my God,
she's
we're happy to see
she's
us.
like the pageant wave. Hi.
But about the magic, my first thought was if it's chaos magic, which is kind of seems to be implied by the opening quote in this chapter, then I wonder if the magic comes and goes. They have moments of magic that it's strong, and they have moments where it's gone. That was my thought when I first started reading it, but I don't know.
I think that this is the Isle of Zinal, who is the god of luck, and as you pointed out in the epigraph at the beginning of the chapter, you have to take luck as your guide and chaos as your standard. What adds more chaos to life than magic?
Yeah.
But I do think it's funny that they're like, they want us here, so I don't know if this is the next section or not, but they were like, they want us here, so this might be our most dangerous island yet.
Yeah, which was my thought exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Any more thoughts, favorite scenes, anything that we didn't mention you want to mention?
No, I mentioned, I think the main things I cared about, like my favorite parts of this section were Andarna, I think, and Riddick.
I do want to mention that quote from Mira that we talked about earlier, but I want to read it.
Yeah.
It's the interview ended before it began. You don't care that Violet is the smartest person in this room or that Xaden tore apart Bezgaiath to save her, then returned to fight for Navarre because it was the right thing to do, or that Kat lives in the most hostile environment possible to help her kingdom. You don't care that Arik had to step into the light he hates so we would have a royal representative, or that Garrick has stood by Xaden's side no matter the cost. We proved our lack of wisdom by coming here in the first place. You were never going to share your knowledge or ally yourself with us. I love that every single example is a self-sacrificing, well, except for Violet being the smartest person in the room. It's a self-sacrificing, selfless thing about each
Yeah.
person. And I love that it was Kat and Garrick. And
Yeah.
I was so proud of Mira because, you know, how she treated Xaden and the marked ones in Fourth Wing, and how she treated the Flyers and kind of viewed them as the enemy at the beginning of Iron Flame, and just to see how far she's come too.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's been obviously very observant of them and who they are, and to come to their defense is even further, you know? It's very awesome. Love that about her.
Yeah, exactly.
Lily, you should mention what you texted us about Kat and Traeger.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, like, as we were reading this section where they kept pointing out that, like, Kat and Traeger are, like, happy now. And they've got, like, hickeys. They're obviously living their fantasy. And Traeger's waited his whole life to, like, kind of be with her. I was like, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Well, you know what I always say? Never say, I'm super happy in a book, because then that's when tragedy falls.
Yep. All right. Well, we got lots to talk about next week. We'll end it there, and we hope that you guys join us for next week's episode. We'll be discussing Onyx Storm chapters 38 through 43. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Zodiac Academy.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.